PMU.
Good evening, and welcome to our State University System Admissions Counselor event. My name is Janet Bell Jackson, and I am the Elevating Excellence Coordinator with Pinellas County Schools. And with me tonight, I also have with Ms. Valerie Santos. She is a K-12 school counseling specialist.
We are so glad you joined us this evening to learn more about universities and colleges within the state of Florida. Students and families, we know the college going process can be a little bit anxiety-provoking and stressful. We want to put you at ease. This is the first of many events Pinellas County Schools will have to help guide you through this process. The next one coming right up after this is put a plug in for Countryside High School. Is going to have an in-person college and career fair on October 7th from 6 to 7:30. And your own high school has a college and career center. Every single one of our high schools has a college and career center, and they have college visits all the time. They have college and career fairs all the time. So if you want to get in contact with your college and career coordinator at your high school, they can tell you about those events. They can guide you through the process. And you can also follow us on Instagram, where you can keep up to date on any events coming up, whether it be testing, whether it be FAFSA, whether it be college admissions events. That's a good way, and that will be up on the end slide for you to go ahead and follow us. I hope you find this evening very helpful, and we're going to let them go ahead and get started.
Thank you. Tonight is the start of a conversation. We have 8 schools with us here tonight. We have the Pinellas Access to Higher Education Group. We have Bethune-Cookman University, University of Central Florida, Eckerd College, Florida Polytechnic University, Florida International University, University of South Florida, and University of Florida in attendance. So tonight's event is going to go a little like this. We're going to have each school present for about 8 minutes on their admissions process, and after we have completed the rounds, we will open up for Q&A from our audience. So without further ado, we are starting with Ms. Tia Gomez-Zeller with the Pinellas Access to Higher Education Group.
And I'm actually here with my partner, Brene, who will help me with the presentation.
Hi everyone, just sharing my screen. Can you see it okay? Alright, thanks. Alright, yeah, so my name is Brene Hillard. I'm a PATH advisor, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about PATH, who we are, and how we can help you. So the mission of PATH is to provide equitable, flexible, and attainable pathways to promote access to higher education for all students in Pinellas County. So we know that sometimes it can be difficult to navigate. What do you want to do after high school? How do you figure out majors that you like, schools that you like? How do you navigate financial aid and all those different things? It can be challenging. So the purpose of PATH, we want to provide free resources to all Pinellas County students to help you navigate that so that everyone has the same access to continue their education after high school. So our vision and path is to increase the number of students in Pinellas County attaining degrees after high school. So we know that by doing that, we're filling in the skills gaps that the workforce needs, but also it improves the economic health of Pinellas County, the state, and the country as a whole. So I'll tell you a little bit more about PATH. As PATH advisors, we are education consultants who want to answer any questions that you may have about college and help you get the certificate or degree of your choice. So we are not admissions recruiters. Even though we're housed at USF and we have a partnership with St. Pete College, whether a student is interested in those schools or maybe another school in the state of Florida, outside of the state of Florida or even outside of the country, we want to help students navigate that and just have a clear process of how to go about doing that. So I list here ways that we're able to help Pinellas County residents. We can help with the following. So we can talk about college admissions process, help you find that information, and work on applications, that kind of thing. We can talk about college fit. So finding schools that have the majors that you're interested in and finding schools that meet your needs. We can also talk about selecting a degree program and developing an educational pathway. So sometimes it's easy to, like, if you know what career you want, sometimes it can be easy to say, okay, well, if I want to be an engineer, maybe an engineering major, but sometimes it's not so easy to figure out. And so we're here to help students kind of figure out, match their careers to majors that can fit that, as well as developing a plan for other experiences and things that they can get to help make sure they're competitive by the time they're graduating college. We can also talk about financial resources and making sure that college is affordable for students. We can also talk about transfer support. So like I said before, we do have a partnership between St. Pete College and USF St. Pete campus. There's scholarships available and things like that. However, St. Pete College also has partnerships with schools like FAMU and other schools. So we can talk generally about transferring to other schools as well, maybe starting at a community college or a state college and then transferring to another school. And then we can also talk about college resources. So we are here to help students navigate those processes, but the schools administrators are going to be the experts on their schools. So we can also help make sure that students are getting connected to the schools that they are interested in and making sure they're getting additional questions answered. So here I list some of the questions that we've gotten recently from students and things that we help with. So sometimes students are asking, okay, well, based on my grades, what does that mean for admission standards and things like that? How will schools look at my grades? So we can talk through that. Sometimes students have questions about their career options. So like if I get a degree in psychology, what type of careers can I do with that degree? Sometimes students have questions about dual enrollment and advanced placement. What are the advantages of those? How do schools look at those options? We've talked to students about SAT and ACT prepping. So like when should they take the test and how do you prepare for those things? We've talked about options after high school. What schools are out there helping students navigate that and help them learn how to navigate that. Admissions requirements, and like I said before, financial aid as well. And so I just want to kind of leave you with another couple things. First, like here you can see the PATH team. So again, my name is Brene Hillard. My focus area is pre-college. So and then we also have Sam Fiore and Tia's on here as well with me to help answer any questions if we have any that come up. If you ever want to get connected with us, you can scan this QR code or go to our website or email us. We are available to meet with students and their families in person or online. And I also volunteer in the College and Career Center at the high school. So even if you students want to meet me there, we can do that as well. All right. And that's it for me. Thank you for your
Thank you, Brene. This is a great opportunity that we have right here in our backyard. This is the first presenter because I wanted to make sure we were laying down like a foundation for the next couple of presenters or next schools. So you know that there's a person out there that can meet with your family and your student and help you guide you through this process. And it doesn't have to be necessarily USF or SBC. It could be any other university. So our next presenter is coming from the East Coast. They're coming from Bethune-Cookman University. Mr. Billy DeJuste.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you guys, or happy Thursday Eve. My name is Billy DeJuste. I serve as the Director of Recruitment and Outreach for the great Bethune-Cookman University, located in the beautiful city of Daytona Beach, Florida. I bring you guys greetings from the entire Wildcat family, from our president, Dr. Barry, along with our board of trustees, our cabinet members, our faculty, our staff, and of course, most importantly, Wildcat country itself, the phenomenal students here at Bethune-Cookman University. We want to wish you all hell Wildcats Day. Hopefully your day has gone to a great, go to a great start. And we are happy to share some information with you today about some of the great things happening at BCU. Sorry, guys, missed last weekend's event. We had our first open house session where we had our Family and Friends Day on campus. We had a 3-day event of activities on campus. Friday, we had our first pep rally, followed by a step show and a dance show by our organizations. Saturday, we had an open house session followed by a campus tour. We had our first open home games against Savannah State. We put a beating on those guys, came home with a victory, and enjoyed the evening with some ice cream on the yard. And of course, Sunday, we ended the weekend with a nice brunch on the yard with some pictures and had some fun and kind of introduced who BCU is and what we have to offer for potential students. We had over 500 students on campus and their families on campus. So it's a great way to start off the year. We have one of these events each month, right? We have this one in September. October, we have our homecoming. November, we have our Florida Classic, where we face Florida A&M and Orlando for the big game in Orlando. So again, excited to get the year going. We just checked on over 1,000 new freshmen. They are here on campus getting acclimated to the Wildcat family. So we're excited to welcome them in. And now we're here to assist the rising seniors and juniors who are looking to plan this next year. Hopefully BCU will be one of your choices to join this Wildcat family and join this movement, as we have so many great opportunities and things happening on campus. So let me now share my screen with you. I'm going to, let me see, you guys have been listening for quite a bit. Let me share a quick little 1 to 2 minute promo with you about highlights at our campus, and then we'll share some new information and new requirements that we have for this new school year. That was from our Student Activities Board. They had a great event in the spring semester. Wanted to highlight Alpha Phi Alpha, who won the step show for our fraternities. So wanted to show them some love. And now we'll hear from our former freshman class president, and then we'll share some additional information with you to end out the presentation.
Hi, I'm Danae Allen, a freshman here at Bethune-Cookman University. I heard about BCU from Miss Overton, who was my avid teacher at King High School. And I never heard about BCU, so I went home and I did a lot of research and I found out about our founder. And I knew that was a legacy that I had to be a part of. When I told my parents that I chose BCU, they were elated, overly overjoyed. So we get here and I'm thinking to myself, how can I make BCU for me? So I start to join different organizations on campus. I serve as the freshman class president for the 2022-2023 academic school year. I also sing on the Wildcat worship team. I am a Wildcat ambassador, so I give tours every Thursday. BCU has really became my home away from home. I could not have asked for a better institution. I don't think I would want to go anywhere else. I want to make sure that before I leave my footprint here at Bethune-Cookman University. Our Vice President, VP Jones, once said, "You never know if that caterpillar is going to be a moth or a butterfly." So I make it my business every day to be the butterfly I know I can be.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to show some love to our phenomenal student leaders. Those are former freshmen who's actually went to King High School, not too far from you guys here in the Tampa area. So we're happy to have Ms. Danae. She serves as an ambassador and also works for the Office of Admissions, provide tours like I used to do once when I was a student there. So we're building her up to be a future leader. This is what we do at BCU. We empower our students once they arrive on campus to get involved with the process and be part of the movement and control the experience, because it is your experience. We want to make sure we support you, but we empower our students to take control of that experience and make it your own once you arrive here on campus. So let me share a bit of what's happening and what's new on campus. Let me get that going for you.
We are Bethune-Cookman University, your next generation of doctors, lawyers, and educators. Every day we walk these halls to learn skills, have experiences, and make connections and friends that will last us a lifetime. We are our student athletes, playing hard and studying even harder to succeed not only at the sports that we love, but in the classroom that we sit in every day. We are our musicians and entertainers, whether we march on the field or dance on the stage. We are our Greek life, bringing fellowship and unity to the young men and women of this campus by instilling lifelong values in them. Bethune-Cookman University, investing in the human soul to create diamonds in the rough.
All right. Also, by the way, every presentation you guys are seeing today are created by our own students. We have our own marketing department. We have our own TV and radio station. Our broadcast majors put some of these productions together for us. So again, this is done by our students. We want to put them to work and actually apply some of the things they've learned and have that in their portfolios prior to graduating. This is what it's all about. Enter to learn, depart to serve is our model. And of course, creating those student success, finding student success and creating an opportunity to shine and bring those great innovative ideas to a campus and make the experience greater. That is the goal, to get you guys on campus 4 years and graduate and become the best of who you're supposed to be. We have a motto here on our campus: 16 times 8 equals graduate, meaning coming in here as a freshman, 16 credit hours times 8 semesters, which is 4 years, which gets you out of here in time, on time for 4 years, unless you're coming in as a dual enrolled students, which we encourage, have those college credits and be out of here in 2.5 years, as we've seen over the last 2 years on campus. So let me just share with you some of the great programs that we have on our campus. The list of our majors are listed here for you in alphabetical order. We have 4 colleges, which we'll share with you shortly. Our top 5 performing majors the last 3 years have been in the School of Business, School of Nursing, School of Health Sciences, music, education, and criminal justice, to kind of give you an idea of where we've excelled in and done a great job of graduating our students, making sure they are getting jobs in that field, but also going to graduate school for those who want to continue their education in that area. Of course, starting with the College of Arts and Humanities, of course, it gives you a brief idea of what we have to offer in those areas. We can have a continued partnership with Disney World, which is simply 45 minutes from our campus for those students who want to go into theater, music performance. We've added the newest major now, which is music recording technology. We are now the only HBCU in the country with our very own record label and a studio on campus for students who would like to produce and write his or her own music while you're here as a student. So you can leave out of here with a degree in one hand, and if you're talented enough, have that album done, and we can help promote that album for you while you're on campus, sending it to BET and MTV, and get that exposure and grow your brand here with us while you're getting your degree. Of course, College of Business and Entrepreneurship, which is the #1 program we have on our campus, continue to do great work, providing great internship and job placement for our students to make sure they are succeeding, getting those preparations to make sure they are successful to represent themselves, the institution, as well as their family once they leave out of here as well. We'll be having 2 new programs, a new MBA program in business And we have 2 new certificate programs now, which will be offered in real estate as well as entrepreneurship. So we want to make sure our students have all the tools necessary to get a good return on their investment while they are here. Of course, our STEM programs, our College of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, still excelling, doing great things. Just won a competition here for the mathematics area. So that will be highlighted on our social media platform here very shortly to showcase those students. Of course, our College of Nursing and Health Sciences, or nursing program, just now made the top 10. We're now top 10 in the country as far as for nursing programs, as far as student success. 94% success rate is currently stand. Every student in this program is employed 6 months prior to graduation. And companies come banging down our door to come grab the best of the best. We know we offer a great program here on our campus. No more than 16 in the classroom, no more than 7 in the clinicals. So you're going to get some hands-on experience to make sure you're prepared to go and represent well and know what you're doing once you leave out of here. So phenomenal job by our nursing program. And of course, student support services is there as well. 24-hour tutoring services is available for students 7 days a week. There's no time throughout the day you will need some help and someone is not there to help you. Monday through Sunday from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m., you have access to some assistance if you need it. As you guys know, we are right on the beach in Daytona Beach, just 2 miles from the beach here in Daytona. And of course, as I mentioned, student leaders, we want you to get involved as you guys get on campus. We have a freshman class board, which consists of freshman class president, vice president, and the entire board, along with Mr. and Miss Freshman. You guys represent your school and your class at every football game, banquets, and special events, and get a chance to connect and make those connections while you're there with us as well. Of course, we have Division I NCAA athletics, and it gives you a list here of some of the programs we do offer here on our campus. So please join the movement and be part of this winning program. You have the QR code here. You're welcome to tap into that and kind of check out the list of those programs we do offer on our campus and connect directly with the coaches. Their contact number is available for you there. Kind of gives you a breakdown of our total averages from this past year. We're now almost up to 3,000 students now. We've had an influx in our enrollment. So we're happy to have those guys join us on our campus. Our requirements are still the same. About a 2.8 grade point average is our requirement for getting into the fall semester. And we also have a summer immersion program, which requires a 2.5 or higher. We are now test optional. We no longer require an SAT or ACT to be admitted or to be considered for a scholarship. It is free to apply online. We no longer need an essay or recommendation. We would rather have a resume or a brag sheet, right? We want to go away from the old playbook and move things now to the new modern way to fit this generation as opposed to how things have always been done. So a 2.8, you upload your transcripts, and we're releasing decisions October 2nd. So you guys are welcome to apply as early as now if you're a senior, and you'll be part of the first list to get your acceptance letters on October 2nd. Apply for financial aid. That date is up and coming. I believe it'll be in December. They're making some changes this year with the FAFSA. So we're waiting for that information. We'll have that for you as well very shortly. So for the sake of time, I'll go ahead and say, hell, Wildcats. I'll be chatting in the chat section with you if you guys have any further questions, and I'll be able to answer any questions you guys may have about the process. Thank you again for your time, and hell, Wildcats.
Thank you. Thank you, Bethune-Cookman University. We are moving along to Orlando, Florida with the University of Central Florida and Ms. Haley Wharton.
Good evening, everyone. Like they said, my name is Haley Wharton. I am a Senior Assistant Director for Undergraduate Admissions at UCF. Really excited to get to spend the evening with you and talk to you about admissions to UCF. So I'm going to go ahead and, like many others, share my screen and get my PowerPoint going. If this will... Okay. Nope. All right, I'm just going to start here. There we go. Okay, so UCF, we were founded in 1963. We've since been recognized as a best value university, one of the most innovative universities in the country, and a leader in social mobility. We are well known as a large research institution located, of course, in Orlando, Florida. One of the great things about being such a large institution is all of the opportunities you have available to you at UCF. With over 220 different degree programs and over 100 different bachelor's degrees, I can just about guarantee that no matter what you're looking to study or what you're interested in, we will have something that will meet that need. We also, of course, have a lot of people on campus. We have over 650 clubs and organizations for you to be a part of. And if you are a part of the Knight Nation, I definitely encourage you to join as many as you possibly can, make those personal connections and professional connections that you will carry with you far beyond your time at UCF. So now I'm going to talk about the admissions process. So one of the most important things that you need to know about admissions to UCF is that we want you to apply as early as you possibly can. If you are a freshman applicant, so coming straight from high school, ideally we would want you to apply between August to October of your senior year of high school. If you're planning to transfer to UCF, that's going to be 6 months prior to whatever term you are going to initially enroll at UCF. So you may be wondering why we want you to apply early, and I'm going to get into that. So first and foremost, we operate on what is called rolling admissions. If you're not familiar with that, basically what that means is that we do not have a set decision day where we stop and make all of our admissions decisions. Rather, we accept applications from August 1st all the way to May 1st, and we make decisions all throughout that time frame. So it is to your benefit to apply as early as you can, because earlier on, our applicant pool is smaller and therefore less competitive. And it's going to be a little bit easier than if you waited until later in the cycle and it gets more and more competitive. Other reasons why we want you to apply early are going to be to have access to scholarship opportunities. We have merit-based scholarships that we offer in undergraduate admissions. And basically how this relates to your application is you need to have a completed application file with us no later than November 1st of your senior year to get priority consideration for a merit-based award. The last benefit to applying early is going to be access to housing options. If you're looking to live on campus, we definitely recommend it for at least your first year. And how this relates to your application is you have to be admitted to UCF before you're able to apply for housing. Housing is awarded first come, first serve. So it'll be in the order that students are applying for that housing, that they are awarded housing. And hopefully we want you to get secure a spot on campus and of course get your first choice. Our application completion deadlines are listed on the screen, but please make sure you're applying as early as you can, far in advance of these deadlines, to be successful and just get in early so it's not as competitive. All right, now I'm going to talk about the components of a complete application, so steps you need to take in order for your application to be considered. The first, of course, is the application itself, which you can have two options for applying to UCF. One is the UCF institutional application found on our website, or you can apply through the common application. We have no preference for how you apply, but we do ask that you choose one over the other. There's no need to submit multiple, so just pick one. Once you've done that, you'll be asked to pay a $30 application fee. However, this fee can be waived if you do have a waiver from your school, maybe a free and reduced lunch waiver or an SAT, ACT testing waiver, things like that. Go ahead and upload that at the time that you apply or send it to us in an email, and we'd be happy to get that fee waived for you as well. Once you've done that, you'll be asked to complete something called the SPARK form. That stands for Self-Provided Academic Record for Knights. Essentially, on this form, you are going to be inputting all of your grades from high school. So it's a great idea to get a copy of your transcript. You're just going to be manually inputting all the classes and grades into that form, and then we take that information and recalculate your GPA. When we do this recalculation, we focus only on academic core classes defined as your English, math, social science, natural science, and foreign language. So anything outside of that will not be counted. We do give additional weight to any accelerated courses you may have taken. So if you've done any AP classes, IB, ACE, or dual enrollment, all of those are weighted on a 5-point scale. So you get an additional 1 point of weight for those courses. Any honors, pre-AP, pre-IB, or pre-ACE, those are weighted on a 4.5 scale, so you get an additional 0.5 point of weight for those classes. Just make sure you complete your SPARK form as accurately as possible, and we'll take care of the rest. And the very last requirement for your application is SAT or ACT scores. So we are not test optional, but you can choose either SAT or ACT. The choice is yours. We do super scores. So what that means is we'll take the highest score from each section of the exam and compile them to give you the most competitive score possible. The last thing on this list is our essay, which is absolutely optional, but definitely recommended because we do not accept letters of recommendation and we don't do anything like an interview for applicant consideration. So really the essay is your best way of letting the admissions committee know more about you as a person and giving us more information to work with when we're making such an important decision. So while you don't have to, I definitely recommend that you go ahead and do the essay anyhow. Lastly, I just want to go over our freshman class profile. So I want to draw your attention over to the side of the screen that lists our mid-ranges. Our mid-ranges represent the middle 50% of our freshman class and about where they're ranging in their academic credentials. This is what students want to aim to have, be within or close to our mid-ranges to be considered a competitive applicant and have their application stand out. So no, these mid-ranges are not minimums. They are not requirements, but they're more so a suggestion for what you want to aim for. Like I said, to be competitive for admission. And of course, with that being the middle 50%, please keep in mind 25% of our students who are admitted, who are at UCF, were below these numbers and they were still offered admission. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have our class averages. These averages represent what we're looking for when we consider a student for our merit-based scholarships that I mentioned earlier. Both your GPA and your test score have to be at this average or exceeding this average to begin to be considered for one of our merit-based awards. So that's a little bit about admissions to UCF. If you do have any questions for me, please let me know. Thank you, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you, Haley. Go Knights, charge on. I went to UCF also. Next on our agenda is Eckerd College with George Garcia.
All right. Greetings, everyone, from Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, Eckerd in St. Petersburg. So my name is George Garcia. I am the Associate Director of Diversity Improvement at College. We are a private school running your backyard. We're small, about 2,000 students. We offer about 40 majors you can choose from. So some of our top 5 being marine science, environmental studies, business, psychology, programs like that. You can do all, and match how you want. So through the application process, common app, it's much easier for both sides. We do need transcripts. We're going to review your first 3 years of high school, and we do need the additional senior year first quarter. We'll request it from you or your counselor. Our SAT is optional for you. You don't need to submit those directly to us. Having taken the SATs for any outside scholarship you for. We do provide scholarships that range from 15 to 25,000 now, and it all depends on academics. And we're so we do have about 16 that we have are already fall and hockey, but we do have other sport on our campus, which you can be recruited for. I believe that is it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out in chat, reach out by email. I'll provide it in the chat. I also recommend coming to visit Eckerd, kind of get a feel for what a small campus in St. Pete is looking like. Thank you.
Thanks, George. I think we had a little bit of a technical glitch there, but I think we got through most of the information. However, if there's anyone out there that has additional questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. So when we go to the Q&A, we can get your questions answered. Again, thank you, Eckerd College. And we are moving over to Florida Polytechnic University with Savannah Taylor.
Thank you so much, and welcome everybody. Let me go ahead and get my screen pulled up for you guys. There we go. Can everyone see my screen? Wonderful. So good evening. My name is Savannah Taylor. I'm an admissions counselor here at Florida Poly. And I just want to let you know that here at Florida Poly, I cover the territory of Pinellas County. So I would be the admissions counselor for anyone who lives in Pinellas County. So I would sort of be the person of contact. So that is why my information is here up on the screen. So, Florida Poly, we are one of the 12 state universities here in the state of Florida, but we are the only state university that is 100% dedicated to STEM. So Florida Poly has accomplished so much in the past few years, and we continue to demonstrate our excellence at the national and the state level. Florida Poly provides students with a very unique experience. So we are highly affordable, and we provide a small private campus feel. And with the number one highest salaries of graduates, our students are set up for long-term success. And I am excited to announce that our two newest majors, civil and industrial engineering, we are very excited to have those added to our list. But as you can see that we have a range of academic programs that aren't very run-of-the-mill. So it is exciting that we have very cutting edge and relevant under concentrations rather than majors here at Florida Poly. So our students are able to blend a little bit about different topics and things like that, rather than sticking to a very structured curriculum. So if they have interest in something different within their field, they can explore that a little bit more. And so many of our programs can be found at different state universities, but one of the ways that Florida Poly is different is that in addition to our direct different one-on-one work with our top faculty in our small class environment, is that our immediate immersion into our STEM core on day one. So as an undergraduate Bachelor of Science seeking student, our Florida Poly students experience a STEM core their first academic year. So this is comprised of key courses required by all academic programs. So these courses provide a strong foundation for students and allow for their career exploration. So in their STEM core, they begin this in their second year, and the students begin to delve into their core curriculum and during their second year. And as our president, Randy Avent, always says, engineering and STEM is not a spectator sport. So we have hands-on learning, and in that small classroom environment, it allows our students to have that extra feeling that they are getting that extra level of learning right there in their beginning years. So it has been a very exciting time here at Florida Poly recently. So we recently started construction here on campus of our new residence hall. So that is projected to be completed by fall of 2024. And we are planning to have future work done of our Gary Wendt engineering building and our student achievement center. So we have a couple buildings popping up here on campus soon. So we are growing as an institution as well. So we are very excited about that. And outside of academics, our students enjoy a multitude of different activities and clubs and organizations here on campus. And actually here this week is Humans versus Zombies, which is ultimately just one big game of tag with Nerf blasters. So we see students running around campus with Nerf blasters and, dodging each other. So it has definitely been a very fun time, very entertaining to watch here on campus. So regarding admissions and what we are looking from you, we want to see your pre-calculus grades, or maybe you've taken something higher. We want to see your chemistry grades. We want to see your physics grades. We want to see your involvement in and out of school. So maybe you have a part-time job. Maybe you are working at Publix. Maybe you're working somewhere else. Maybe you're taking dual enrollment classes. Maybe you are, volunteering. Maybe you're a part of clubs. We want to see that in your application. And we also want to see and hear about your passion for the STEM field. All of that can be put into your application either through the Common App or through our native app at floridapoly.edu. So definitely add all of that information in when beginning your application, because we would want to hear about all of that. And so looking at our previous fall accepted classes, we have a median academic profile that our students usually fall into. I do like to note that we do look at your application holistically. So if you do not fall into one of these categories, that's okay. Still submit your application, and we can definitely chat about what that's going to look like. We do super score. So if you have taken the SAT or the ACT multiple times, we will take that higher grade. So that's a little bit about our academic profile. We have made some updates to our admissions process. The biggest change is that we are no longer requiring students to submit an essay. So as a STEM school, we aren't blind to the advancing technologies and chat GPT. So we encourage you to share your passions and additional information through conversations with the admissions team and myself in place of submitting an essay. Now, if you would still like to submit an essay, you of course can, but we are not requiring it. Additionally, we have heard feedback, so we aren't asking students to send in letters of recommendation either, so those are not required as well. But I do encourage all of you to apply early and maximize your chances for admission. So our fall of 2024 application is open, and our early action deadline is November 15th. So we are striving to provide students with their admissions decisions. So if applying by November 15th, they will go out before you go on winter break. And I want to reiterate the importance of applying early. So students who want to be considered for our most prestigious scholarships, such as the Alexander Scholars or the Provost Scholars, you will need to submit all of your application materials by November 15th. After that date, we will review all other Florida Poly merit-based scholarship opportunities. Okay? So definitely get that application in as soon as possible. So once again, so if you're passionate about STEM, if you're considering STEM, or if you just want to learn more about STEM, please feel free to contact me at any time. Thank you.
We are moving along to Florida International University with Ms. Ada Salgado.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I couldn't hear so the transition, but it's okay. My name is Ada Salgado, and I am an FIU admissions recruiter. I am taking place of my colleague, Donald Bryant, who is actually the recruiter for Pinellas County. But of course, we all share the information. So I'm more than happy to be here, and I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen as well, just like everyone else. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this up. Sorry. Oops. All right. So this is our information session. Go ahead and get started. So a little bit about FIU. FIU opened up in 1972 and had the largest opening enrollment in U.S. collegiate history with about 5,667 students. Our main campus was actually built on an abandoned airfield. And if you ever visit our beautiful campus, you'll be able to see that tower still standing there. We incorporated it as part of our campus. Our students can definitely look at that. Today, FIU has about 57,000 plus students, has 11 schools and colleges housed within our university, and over 200 degree programs. So any major you can think of, we probably have. And if you want a major, double major, minor, and something else, there's definitely multiple of combinations that you can make for whatever you want to do in the future. Our in-state tuition is about $6,500 for in-state students. A little bit about our rankings, and this is updating almost every day. But we are the #1 public university in the state of Florida, according to the FLBOG performance. We are also ranked #4 public university by the Wall Street Journal, and our undergraduate international business program is #2 in the nation, and our business admin program is top 5. Only 3% of universities can say that are R1 Carnegie, and only 2 in Miami-Dade County are research R1, and that is who we are, one of them. So we're very proud of that as well. We are not only here to serve our students, but we're also here to serve our community and also make it affordable for our students to come to school. So that is our goal. I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast. That's a common Miami thing. And also I do want to get through the presentation as well. So we have several locations. I always remind our students who are looking to apply that even though you put in which preference of campus that you want to attend, students have access to all of our campuses. Our main 2 campuses, the first one is our Modesto Medi campus, which is our most busy campus, our most popular campus. You'll see a lot of our students at this Modesto Medi campus. Not far from the Modesto Medi campus is our engineering center, which is where most of our engineering students spend most of their 4 years in school. And it's not too far. It's only 5 minutes down the road from the Modesto Medi campus, and there is transportation between both, completely free. We also have our Biscayne Bay campus, which houses our College of Hospitality, and our marine biology majors will spend a lot of time on this campus as well, just because of its location. It is the very chill campus. Also very, very beautiful. And there is free transportation between our Modesto Medi campus and Biscayne Bay campus, which our students love to take advantage of. So if you're ever in the area, please feel free to stop by and visit our underwater lab too at the Biscayne Bay campus. Of course, like I said, we have 11 schools and colleges. Our most popular schools and colleges are the College of Business, our College of Arts, Sciences, and Education, which we call CASE, houses a lot of our majors, our College of Engineering and Computing, our Chaplain School of Hospitality, and our Honors College, which is part of the university. When you're an honors college student, you're a dual citizen. So you're a citizen of FIU, and then you're a citizen of the Honors College. And they offer so many great benefits to our students who are honor students as well. So if you're interested in the Honors College, I would definitely make sure you check it out. And they have their own information sessions frequently online. So you will learn about all the great things that they also have to offer to our students. Campus Life. You should check us out on FIU Instagram. We're very proud of our Instagram and our marketing team and our student ambassadors who are going out there and creating all this great content for our school. And of course, just showcasing what FIU has to offer, all the diversity, and not only in nature, but in people, and how we embrace the Miami culture in our school as well. So that's why we have like about 10,000 coffee shops everywhere, specifically Cuban coffee. So if you're interested in that, definitely stop by. Our student life, of course, is not only revolves around coffee, but we have our Graham Center, which is where most of our students spend their time eating and socializing, and they're just our major hub. We also have kayaking at BBC, which is absolutely beautiful. You can do it in the daytime, and you can also do it at nighttime. So nice. So highly recommend. We have the Marianne Wolf Theater, which a lot of students put their performances on frequently, and our Performing Arts Center. We have 2 recreational centers. We have over 300 clubs and organizations. So there's definitely a place for you in any of these clubs, organizations. And if you have an idea, then we can definitely fund your idea. You would have to fill out an application, and you can start your own club, which is also amazing. We have 18 Division I sports. And if you're not interested in playing competitively, then of course we have intramural sports that you can participate in. Oh, shoot. Sorry. All right. We have 8 housing halls on MMC campus and a private student living facility at BBC. All of our housing halls offer suite style rooms for our students. They all offer utilities, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and front desk attendance for students. Definitely a lot of spaces to study. And of course, you just, again, want to make sure that you are applying early to FIU so that you're also getting dibs on your priority deadline for housing if you're thinking about staying on campus. Very important information about financial aid. Our the FAFSA is now going to, you're completing your FAFSA in a timely fashion. Our merit scholarship deadline is December 4th. You have to be admitted to FIU by our November 15th decision release date and then you have about two weeks-ish to go ahead and apply to our merit scholarships. Our first merit scholarship covers 100% of your tuition and fees, with the second one covering 75% of your tuition and fees. So making sure that you're definitely on top of your timeline and all the deadlines that we have here. I was going to say something, but I forgot. Raise Me. A Raise Me is a micro scholarship that students can start right away once they start high school, starting ninth grade. It is basically where students are earning money for participating in extracurricular activities such as volunteering, community service hours, perfect attendance, getting an A in class. You would plug it into your Raise Me account, and that would generate dollar amounts, and students can earn up to $2,500 per academic year. So once students are ready to come over to FIU and they have decided that they're going to be a Panther, this scholarship will already be sitting on their financial aid account as a scholarship ready for them to use. If you are a senior and you're thinking about Raise Me, just make sure that you complete your Raise Me profile by December 1st and that you're admitted to FIU by November 15th so that your funds are available. Of course, we're still offering our golden promise to our students that if they're if their family cannot contribute to education, we'll find a way for your education to be funded by us. Very quickly, a little bit about our admissions process and our timeline. Our application already is open. It opened in July, so you're more than welcome to go ahead and tinker in there and go ahead and apply. Our scholarship deadline is still December 4th. This year we changed a little some things around, so just something to keep in mind. You have to have applied to FIU by October 23rd, and then your decision will be released on November 15th. So you do have a little bit of a window if you applied to FIU before that, and then you didn't submit your final transcript. So really it's November 7th. But if you have to have an application in by October 23rd. And then your decision will be released on November 15th. And then after that, decisions will be released on a rolling basis. So once your application is complete, you should hear from us within 3 to 4 weeks' time. A first-year applicant is an applicant who's a high school senior and is attending college for the first time. Application takes about 20 to 30 minutes. You can have your application fee waived. Just speak to your high school counselor. If not, it is $30. You will have to speak to someone at your school to have your transcript submitted directly to us. And if you've taken any college credits, make sure you submit those to us as well. You must submit your SAT and your ACT scores to us directly from your testing agency. Something that has changed a little bit too as well. If you with an Associates of Arts degree, so with an AA, become test optional. However, if you decide to apply to FIU as a first-year applicant with an AA, you may not be eligible for the merit scholarships, because with the merit scholarships, we will ask for your SAT or ACT scores. So if you decide to go this route and become test optional because you have your AA or you'll be graduating with your AA and your high school degree, that is just something to consider, that you might not be eligible for those merit scholarships. If not, if you want to be eligible for merit, then you can just apply as a regular first-year student and still have your credits counted from your AA. So just something to keep in mind. So that's just something that has changed. We sort students. Students will apply to the term that they like to enroll in, but then we will sort them based on their GPA, their major, and their test selection, and then we will offer you somewhere in the term. So you have options between pathways between summer, as we call early fall, or spring. And if you want more information on that, you're more than welcome to search FIU first year pathways. Our deadline for summer and for fall is March 25th. So that's a very good date to keep in mind. That is for our domestic students. And then for spring, it is November 4th of 2024. Come visit our beautiful campus, all of our beautiful campuses, really. Go.fiu.edu/visit. On there, you will also find links to join us for application workshops, information sessions. We also offer academic sessions. So if you're undecided about your major, or you would like to kind of get some guidance on that, our beautiful team from CASE really does a great job of breaking down your major, because sometimes it's not as simple as it seems. And then Honors College hosts a plethora of information sessions to share all the benefits of the FIU Honors College. And our Office of Financial Aid also hosts Financial Aid Fridays if you have questions about FAFSA or financial aid in general. This is our phone number and our email. Feel free to take a picture. Of course, our Instagrams, if you're a transfer student, FIU Transfer, FIU Instagram, and our admissions page is Join FIU, which is run by all the great things that they do on our campus. You can also find our information on go.fiu.edu/mycounselor. You'll put in what school you go to, and it will give you your counselor's direct their name and their email. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, FIU, Ms. Salgado. Again, thank you. We are moving along, and we are headed back home to the University of South Florida with Kiliana Lugo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Kiliana Lugo, and I am the Assistant Director for FTIC and State Recruitment for the University of South Florida. I am also the Regional Representative for all of Pinellas County. So if you are applying from Pinellas County, which I'm sure most, if not all of you are, I would be your direct representative, and I hope to be seeing you in person at some local events in the area soon. But until then, definitely happy to be here tonight to share some information on the University of South Florida. If you just give me 1 second, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen like the folks before me. Okay. One moment here. Okay. Is everyone able to see that okay? Awesome. Okay, so again, hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. If you are not familiar with the University of South Florida, we are a vibrant metropolitan university located within several areas of the Tampa Bay region. We do offer 3 campuses located in Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Sarasota, Manatee. And each one of our campuses offers students the ability to really customize their college experience. Each one of our campuses has a different vibe, if you will, and it really suits our students pretty well because when they're applying, they are able to choose the home campus that they find suits them best. That being said, let's talk a little bit about the University of South Florida in general. So USF was founded in 1956, and we are known as the Bulls. Go Bulls. Rocky the Bull is our mascot. We have an overall enrollment of just over 50,000 students, and just about 37,000 of those students are undergraduate students that are seeking a bachelor's degree. We have a student to faculty ratio of 21:1 and the average class size of 33 students. Now, this does differ a bit across our campuses, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But here at USF, we really pride ourselves on our diversity. About 41% of USF students come from diverse backgrounds, and we hail students from all over the globe. We have students from all 50 US states and over 141 different countries. Across all 3 of the USF campuses, we are home to over 200 100 different majors and concentrations, research one institution. Now, really exciting news for the University of South Florida as of late. Just this year, we were offered and invited a chance to join the Association of American Universities, also known as the AAU. This is a major milestone for U.S. leading research institution. We are one of the first public institutions in the last 40 years to join the Association of American Universities, and we are currently only one of two in the state of Florida. We are also one of the youngest institutions to join the AAU, so it's really exciting news for us, and we are joining about 71 other members and joining the ranks of different institutions like Harvard, Yale, and MIT, just to name a few. Now, I touched on the University of South Florida having 3 separate campuses, and that being a really exciting opportunity for applicants and students alike to ensure that they are really able to choose the USF campus that they find the most suitable to themselves. That being said, our largest campus is located in Tampa. It's a major international research institution located just a bit north, about 20 minutes from downtown Tampa. The USF Tampa campus does offer over 200 different majors and concentrations. And so over at the Tampa campus, you can virtually meet any educational need and career goal of virtually any student. It is also fondly known as a mini city. It has its own zip code, its own hospital, a bull runner, which is also known as our full service shuttle service on the Tampa campus, as well as a Publix grocery store. So it's the largest of the 3 campuses. Now, a couple new things for the Tampa campus as of recently. They just opened up a new 120 square foot innovation building within the USF Research Park. They also opened up a new facility on the Tampa campus that is known essentially as a on-campus urgent care. So the building itself is its 7,000 square foot building called the Student Health and Wellness Building. It's going to be a fully state-of-the-art facility that's going to be used to train our medical, nursing, pharmacy, and public health students. As I mentioned, it'll serve as an on-campus urgent care, and it's going to take students with or without insurance. Student, faculty, and staff can also get prescriptions there. It's going to have wraparound care, and it's also going to offer immunization services as well, just to name a couple of the features that the building is currently up and running to have. So that's some really exciting news for USF Tampa. However, moving on to another one of the USF campuses, our USF Sarasota Manatee campus is the smallest of the 3 campuses. It has close to 2,000 students, and it offers their students a really intimate campus environment with personalized instruction for students. So it's often known as a school that has a public schools cost with a private school feel. So over at Sarasota Manatee, they are located just 30 minutes away from Siesta Key Beach, and they house about 35 of our undergraduate and graduate degree programs. Now, last but certainly not least, the St. Petersburg campus located right here in Pinellas County. St. Petersburg campus is also my home campus, is a beautiful metropolitan waterfront university located right in downtown St. Petersburg. We have approximately 3,600 students on the St. Pete campus, and there are a number of different unique majors offered on the St. Pete campus. To name a couple that come to mind, the St. Pete campus has the graphic arts major, sustainability studies, forensic studies and justice, as well as digital communication and multimedia journalism. So over on the St. Pete campus, all in all, we house about 79 of the undergraduate degree and graduate programs. Fun fact about the St. Pete campus is we are really big on our campus traditions. For those of you that may or may not know, the St. Pete campus every year during homecoming week puts along it's called Cardboard Boat Race, which is essentially a boat race where students, faculty, and staff are able to make watercrafts out of cardboard, plastic bags, any recyclable materials they can find, and they go ahead and set sail in Bayboro Harbor, which is right located on the front of our campus. And it's just a fun campus tradition that kind of just showcases the community we have over at USF St. Pete. So we do have the 3 different campuses, but throughout all of the USF campuses, we have over 700 different student clubs and organizations for students to get involved in when they're really looking for that campus community. There are over 40 different club sports, over 15 intramural sports, and we are also a NCAA Division I school. New this year for women's sports at USF, we have just welcomed the women's lacrosse team and a beach volleyball team to the Division I sports that we offer. Across all 3 USF campuses, there are a number of different residence hall options. Over in Tampa, they have a number of suite style, apartment style, as well as traditional style residence halls. There are 3 dining halls on that campus, and they offer different meal options such as gluten-free, halal, kosher, and vegan options for students that are looking for those different options within their meal plans. Over at the St. Petersburg campus, we have 3 residence halls, 2 are suite style and 1 is apartment style. So students typically like to hear that there actually aren't any traditional style residence halls on the St. Pete campus. So students are typically only sharing a restroom with their roommates or suite mates directly. And we also have a number of dining options available on the St. Pete campus as well. Now, exciting for the USF Sarasota Manatee campus this year, they are set to be opening up in fall 2024, their very first residence hall. So they are joining USF Tampa and USF St. Pete as a residential campus. The new residence hall is going to be about 30,000 square feet. It's going to offer a student center. The bookstore is going to be located there, as well as a dining hall. There'll be a number of study lounges and just about 200 beds. The dining hall is also going to feature waterfront views of Sarasota Bay. So really exciting news for Sarasota Manatee. We are hoping to welcome them in with getting that 200-bed residence hall fully filled up. So if you are interested in please know that they are going to be opening a residence hall this upcoming fall. They're also getting a new nursing and STEM building on their campus. So there's lots of great opportunities coming up for the USF campuses. That being said, now that we've talked a little bit about student life on our campuses, let's chat a little bit about how you apply to USF. Now, though USF has 3 distinct campuses with a different feel, the University of South Florida application process for first-year students is widely the same across the campus. So you are submitting one application, even if you are looking to pick a different campus of choice, the application process remains the same. That being said, when you're applying to USF, you are first going to be submitting your online application. For first-year students, we accept both the USF-specific application found on our website, as well as the common application. We have no preference over which one you submit, but we do ask that you simply submit one. Step number 2 would be to pay your $30 application fee or submit your application fee waiver. We do accept all major fee waivers like the Common App waiver. But if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be happy to assist you. And then for step 3 for applying to the University of South Florida is USF does require the SSAR, also known as the Self-Reported Academic Record, which is essentially a platform that students can utilize to submit their self-reported academic information. Now, an important note here about the SAR is we do utilize it for our admission decision at USF. We do later require you to submit an official high school transcript, which you will work together with your school counselor to have sent over to USF. But for our initial review, we do only require the SAR. Now, I think it's typically good practice if you are applying to USF, once you get your SAR out of the way, if you want to go ahead and send a partial high school transcript along with it, it definitely couldn't hurt, but it is not required for completing your application. Now, last but not least, we ask students to submit their standardized test scores. We do accept the ACT and the SAT, and we do super score our test scores. Now let's talk a little bit about the evaluation process as far as what we're looking at when we are reviewing applicants to the University of South Florida. So for your high school GPA, it does get recalculated based on your academic core courses. So there's nothing different that students or applicants need to do on their end when applying. What happens is we simply receive your self-reported academic record. We'll take a look at the courses that you are taking, and then we'll go ahead and add additional weight for challenging curriculum. So for honors, pre-AP, and pre-IB courses with a C or better, we will add 0.5 points to your GPA. And then you'll get 1 point for every AP, IB, ACE, and dual enrollment course you've taken with a C or better. Now, as I mentioned, we do super score your standardized test scores. So we do encourage you to send in all scores. And we encourage students that are looking to be considered for priority admission to test in October or earlier, just to better align with our review processes. And then we also recommend that students test in December or earlier if you are looking for merit scholarship consideration. So here is our middle 50% profiles for admitted freshman students in fall 2023 and summer 2023. It's also a good time for me to note that when you are applying to USF as a first-year student, you are able to apply either directly to the fall or the summer semesters. Now, as noted in some previous presentations, with the middle 50%, they are not necessarily minimums. They are simply just the averages that we saw in the last class that we admitted. So if these profiles don't exactly match up with what you have or what you expect to have at the time of applying, please don't worry. You still submit your application. This is just supposed to give you an idea of what to aim for. So for fall 2023, our admitted freshman profile for high school GPA was anywhere from a 4.10 to a 4.59. The ACT ranged from a 1250 to a 1390. The SAT ranged from a 1250 to a 1390. The ACT ranged from a 27 to a 31. Now, for summer 2023, the admitted freshman profile looks a little bit different. Fall is typically our most competitive application cycle. So if you would like to apply directly to the summer, that is certainly an option. Our high school GPA for the summer semester was a 3.9 to a 4.29. The SAT was an 1100 to a 1200, and then the ACT was ranging between a 22 to a 25. Now, for those of you that are looking for different experiential learning opportunities, maybe challenging interdisciplinary courses, a different experience to take part in during your college years, I did want to touch on the Judy Genshaft Honors College. It has a couple of benefits as mentioned on the screen. It's where our accelerated programs are housed. They do offer additional scholarships outside of the merit scholarships that students are eligible for with the Office of Admissions. They also receive a honors specific advisor and priority registration. So if that is something that interests you, please know that the Honors College here at USF does have a separate application process. You must first apply to USF with your general first year application. But once you have finished our application here for the Office of Admissions, you can then go ahead and complete the Judy Genshaft Honors College application as well. Those applications are due by January 9th. So just a note there, you'll want to make sure that you complete your USF application first, and then by January 9th, complete your Honors College app. So a couple important dates and deadlines here for our first year students. Our application for fall 2024 is currently live. It's been open since August 1st. Like some other schools mentioned, USF does have a priority application deadline for admission. Our priority deadline this year is going to be November 1st, and our priority application completion deadline for admission consideration is going to be January 15th. So the November 1st date is by when we will need your actual application in order to consider you for priority admission. So applying early has a couple benefits. If you are really looking to see yourself in a specific program of study on a specific USF campus, and we really encourage you to apply by the priority application deadline, it's going to give you a better chance of getting your first choice. Now, at times, some USF campuses have filled up more quickly than others, in which cases sometimes students are defaulted to other home campuses. So it's a really good idea to make sure that you're applying by that November 1st deadline if you are able. Now, the completion deadline, so by the time you'll need your supplemental materials, such as those standardized test scores, the self-reported academic record, would actually be January 15th. But if you are looking to be reviewed for merit scholarships, we will need everything in by January 15th to be able to consider you for any merit awards. The final deadline to apply would be March 1st, and the final completion deadline, so all of those supplemental materials, would be March 15th. It can sometimes be earlier any given year, just based on a space availability. So we always encourage students to apply a little bit sooner, just to ensure that we do not reach capacity at any of our campuses. Now, let's talk a little bit about the freshman and merit scholarships available for USF applicants. So as I mentioned, when you submit your complete application, including the application itself, the application fee, test scores, and transcripts by January 15th, we're automatically going to consider you for merit-based admission scholarships. So there is no additional essays to complete with USF. As long as you have your items in by that consideration deadline, you'll automatically receive a review. Our scholarships this year will be ranging from anywhere from $8,000 to $16,000 for in-state students. Students who receive an admissions merit scholarship will also be notified along with their acceptance letter to USF. Touching on the estimated cost of attendance for USF, as you can see as Florida residents, the tuition and fees is significantly lower than for non-Florida residents. For most of you being located here in Pinellas County, there are also some additional scholarships that may be available to students in the immediate area coming from different offices on the USF campuses. So definitely recommend exploring all of your options and resources. This cost of attendance is meant to be an estimate. Costs of attendance are typically inflated. So just giving you a general idea of what you can expect. But of course, housing, food, books, supplies, and transportation are really going to be specific to a specific student. So these are just general estimates, but tuition and fees at USF is really affordable for students located right here in the great state of Florida. We have a couple of different opportunities for you to come visit any one of the USF campuses. I recommend taking a look at our website. We have everything listed out by campus, so you are able to come check out any one of the USF campuses. We have campus walking tours, student-led tours, self-guided tours, as well as virtual tours. We'll also have a number of different events posted on our website for each campus, so definitely feel free to come by and check any one of our campuses out if you are able. That's it for me today. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them in the chat. I will also go ahead and drop my information there. But feel free to scan this QR code or contact us at the Office of Admissions, and we are more than happy to assist you in your application process. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, USF. And our last school of the evening is University of Florida with Ms. Rosa Ray Garcia.
Thank you very much. I'm going to just go ahead really quickly and share my presentation. I know it's getting tiring, it's late, and I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. All right. Thank you very much for all of you to be here. I'm going to start just sharing our deadlines. We're a little bit different than the rest of the institutions in Florida because we really only have one deadline. I know here says that our November 1st deadline is our priority deadline, but let me be honest with you. Oops, I'm so sorry. Oh, no. Wait 1 second. My presentation. Oops. 1 second, sorry. I apologize. Should be here. All right, now yes, it should be okay. I'm so sorry. Okay, I was as I was saying before, here are our deadlines. And as I was mentioned before, we have one deadline really at the University of Florida. As you can see here, November 1st is what here you can set priority deadline. But just so you know, last year we got 66,000 applications. And if you don't apply before this deadline, we are only going to review your application if we have a space available. Then if you really have the University of Florida as your first option, you need to make sure that you apply by this deadline. Our second important deadline is going to be November 15th. That is the SSAR, the Student Self-Report Academic Record. Here you need to share with us your high school courses, the rigor of your courses, and your grades. Also, we recalculate your GPA as the other institutions mentioned, and we follow the same standards. We're going to give you half of a point for honors, pre-AB, pre-AP, and pre-A's, and a whole point for dual enrollment, IB, AP, and A's. This also means that I know in the Common App is giving you the option to share your information about your coursework, but unfortunately the University of Florida doesn't download that part of the application, and you need to make sure that you are really providing all your courses through this way, the SSAR. And the last important deadline for the University of Florida is December 1st, and it's the test scores. You can choose between the SAT or ACT. We do not have any preference between one or the other. And again, we super score as the rest of the institutions. If you meet all these three deadlines, you will receive your admission decision the last Friday of February. Also, as I mentioned, we are going to look at your GPA and test scores, but the University of Florida, we also want to make sure that you have a holistic review. This means that you also will need to submit a personalized and extra yourself what everyone else is doing, and really make sure that you are showing to us your real you. And when we talk about extracurricular activities, can be anything that you do outside of the class. Maybe you do sports or play an instrument, but it also can be maybe you have a part-time job, you need to help at home, or maybe you have you need to take care of a sibling or a grandparent. All those things are important to us, and that's really why you need to make sure that in this part of the application you go into detail and you share with us your role and your responsibilities. And you need to make sure that you're showing to us that you're having an active role in all these extracurricular activities. Then one more time, we're going to look mainly at four things. It's going to be your GPA, your test scores, your personal essay, and your extracurricular activities. We do not read letters of recommendations, and unfortunately, we don't have time either to do any type of interviews. Here you can see our 50 mil % from last year admissions class. And again, as the rest of the folks said today, these are just our 50 mil %. This means that students also get admitted with a lower numbers than this. And again, because of our holistic review, we look at everything before we make any decisions. Also, something that we are really proud at the University of Florida is because I'm probably you're wondering what this means. This also means that it is almost impossible that you're not going to find what you're interested in at the University of Florida. Also, one of the best things the University of Florida offers, in my opinion, is during your first 2 years at the University of Florida, you can change your major as many times as you want. And just to share some data with you, more 6% of our students change their major during a time multiple things, and it just takes you a little bit longer to really try a few classes before you make your final decision. Also, we are really proud because we are a top 5 public university in the nation by the News and World Report, and this week we also learned public university for the Wall Street Journal. And the reason why we're really proud of these titles is because these titles means things. For example, that we have a 97 retention rate for our freshman students. This means that 97% of our freshman students decide to go back to UF after a year, which also means our students are extremely happy at the University of Florida. Also, we are really happy because we are a huge institution. We have more than 60,000 students, and 38,000 of them are undergrads. And we know that our students think that their classes here at the University of Florida will be huge. And that's why we are extremely happy to share always with the students that our ratio student to faculty is 17:1. Also, all faculty are required to have office hours. And if the student has any questions that maybe they don't feel comfortable asking in front of the whole class, they are always welcome to go to their faculty offices during these times and really ask all those questions. Also, at the University of Florida, we are really proud because we are leader in research. Last year, our students spent $1 billion in research. At the University of Florida, we don't think you need to be a PhD student or a professor in order to do research. We want you to start since your freshman year. And that's why we have the Center for Undergraduate Research, where you can go and great professionals are going to help you to find the best research for you. And this is probably the thing that we are the most proud at the University of Florida, that we are extremely affordable. Just to share some data with you, 80% of our students receive financial aid and 2/3 graduate debt-free. The University of Florida, if you compare us with any of the top 50 public and private institutions in the nation, other institutions can offer you the prices and the opportunities that the University of Florida offers. We offer this as merit and need-based aid, work-study employment. We also have part-time jobs and grants. And the best thing is that the only thing that you need to do in order to be considered for all these opportunities is you just need to complete the Common App application that we mentioned earlier, and then your FAFSA. And as some of the folks mentioned earlier, this year, the FAFSA will open in December. And it is really important that you complete your FAFSA as soon as you can, because the sooner you do it, the more financial aid you can get. And of course, at the university, our job here is to make sure that you are ready for when you leave us. And that's why we are extremely proud that our Career Connection Center is ranked number 2 in the nation. Here, we are not only going to help you to create the best resume or cover letter, we are also going to help you with mock interviews. And we are going to put you in contact with more than 40,000 companies. Just to give you an idea, per month, we post more than 1,000 internships and jobs. And of course, we know that our Gators love to study abroad. And we are really happy that we can offer them a lot of opportunities. As you can see here, more than 3,000 students decided to study abroad last year in 57 different countries. If you really want to see all the countries where our Gators are, right now you can go to Study Abroad UF, and there you can see a huge map where you can see all the opportunities that we have in each country in the world. And of course, we understand that not everything is going to be research, trying to get the best grades or trying to find a better job. You also need to have some fun when you are here with us. And that's why we're really proud that we have more than 1,000 student organization clubs. We have anything that you can imagine. Maybe you just love to live life to the fullest and you will love to be part of our skydiving club. Maybe you are a huge Harry Potter fan and you will like to be part of our Quidditch team. We have so many options. One of my favorites are those that are related to majors, where the students from the higher classes make sure that offer advice to the freshman class. That way you can learn maybe in 2 weeks what maybe took some students to learn in 2 years. Just to give you an idea and to share with you some funny facts, we even have an antisocial club or a club to help you find the right club for you. Because again, we understand that we have a lot of options and sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming. And the last thing that I would like to mention today, we are really proud that we have a huge network of alumni. As you can see here, we have 450,000 alumni worldwide. This means that as soon as you join the Gator Nation, you have this network. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to challenge you tonight, and I'm going to ask you to wear any Gator-related items when you are traveling around Florida, maybe around the United States, or maybe even abroad. And you will see how many people will stop you to say hi, or how many people will say, "Go Gators," when you're walking around. And that way, you're going to understand how powerful it is to be part of this network. All right, and this, yes, is going to be the last thing. For those of you that haven't come to our campus, I really recommend you to come, because it really is the best way to understand how it feels to be a Gator. And also that way you will have the opportunity to talk with our students, because I know, we all can be talking here for hours about our universities, but you always want to hear what our students have to say. Then really come to our campus. Our students, again, are the ones doing our tours, and that way you can ask any questions that you might have. And if you have any questions, please just reach out to us through our admissions website, where you can find our contact form and also our phone number. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rosa. Thank you for all that wonderful information. We are approaching the end of our program for tonight. I don't know if we have maybe one or two questions on our chat that we could answer.
Yes. Our first question is, what is the common application?
Okay, so do one of you on the panel would like to answer that question for us? Maybe you, Miss Rosa Garcia, since you're right on there.
Yeah, sure. Like the Common App is like, let's say it that way, like a website where it's a really easy way to apply for different universities at the same time. Then you just will need to create a profile with the Common App, and that way I believe you can apply, I think, 20 universities.
Thank you. Any other questions we might have?
One more question. When is a good time to start college visits?
Okay, let's have Ms. Lugo answer that question from USF.
Yes, I'd be happy to. So we like to joke in college admissions that it's never too early to get started. However, I would say the prime time to be starting your college visits would probably be around the end of your sophomore year. It would be a little bit on the early end, but primarily during the junior year years, I would say is most commonly when students get started. It allows you to kind of have more of an idea of where your GPA is going to be in the coming year once you're actually submitting the applications your senior year. But also, as I mentioned, it's really never too early. It is important to note that if you are visiting schools your freshman year, the academic criteria at the schools that you're visiting can definitely shift from year to year based on a lot of factors, based on popularity, based on, how things are changing as far as testing goes, things of that sort. So just keep that in mind, but it's definitely never too early to get started in just finding the right campus for you, though the academic criteria might change from year to year by the time that you are actually applying.
Thank you, Ms. Lugo. Since we are at time, we would like to take a minute and on behalf of Elevating Excellence, College and Career Centers, and Pinellas County Schools, we'd like to thank all our panelists for all the wonderful information you guys provided our students and our families this evening. This is definitely the beginning of a conversation and the beginning of our students' journey in the college admissions process. Again, thank you for your participation and have a wonderful evening.